Oh, welcome to the new website. Good luck. We'll see how we feel in a week. You ready for the threads on Reddit about the redesign? Redesigns always take like a week to settle. I'm probably just spam removing every single thread that comes up, and then if I'm in a bad mood, I'll just start banning for it. But redesigns always take a while for logo shifting and all that. So if you're thinking about posting, you literally shouldn't even waste your time. There's like a 50% chance it just gets removed. There's a 50% chance you get a 6-month ban. So good luck. Don't want your feedback. Don't want your criticism. Don't want any thoughts whatsoever. Just want to let it settle for a week. It feels like a replay when you moved away from the Destined for logo. Yeah, I mean, new users have no idea what they want for UX, UI, or design at all. So usually you have to like change something, let it sit for a while, and then see what happens. But yeah, I think like about a week will. All right. On the Anything Else podcast, format paywalls structure from Dan. Preamble. There's now been several threads looking to discuss how anything else should or shouldn't be ran when it comes to both the structure. Oh, this is from Dan himself. Should or shouldn't be run when it comes to both the structure of the show as well as the monetization mechanisms. The point of this thread is to consolidate all of the criticism into one spot where I answer questions, explain how things are moving forward, and draw some lines in the sand. First and foremost, Steven has given me great latitude to run the show how I see fit. Everything below is almost universally my idea or decision. With that said, let's get on to it. 1. Paywall. Charging for things you used to get for free is shitty, I agree. For the past 4 episodes, we have taken a relatively simple model. The Vods are for Patreon subs only. People complained because we used to get access to Destiny for these 3 hours for free, and now we don't if we can't catch him live. That's a fair argument. I don't want Steve's reputation to be maligned, I think he means, by any of this. So I suggested to him the following change, which we are going to be implementing moving forward. Destiny normally stops streaming at 9 p.m. Anything else was streamed from 6 to 9, meaning we took up an existing time slot that Destiny would have been streaming on, and you would have had full access to the VOD. Moving forward, anything else will be streamed from 7 to 10. The first 2 hours of anything else will have the full VOD released for free. The last 1 hour of the show, which to be crystal clear, would never have existed otherwise, will be Patreon exclusive. In addition, the entire 3-hour show will be streamed live for free. The cuts that go to YouTube will continue to be edited versions August makes, which may or may not contain content from the last hour. I feel the proposed change is above reproach. This is bonus content that you already know the quality and character of from the existing 2-hour segment. Critiques such as, I can't believe you're trying to sell this before you have the most polished podcast ever have no bearing because we show you exactly what you're getting in the first 2 hours, and this is an additional hour of content that would not otherwise exist. To dumb this down, we have given you the normally allotted free 2 pieces of fruit and are asking, do you want 1 more for $5? This is, of course, in addition to the various other perks that come with the Patreon support, flares, call-ins, behind-the-scenes footage, etc. content. There's a lot to cover here. I'm not putting my head in the sand of feedback, and do not try to implement suggestions that make sense. I think one constant that you will find with both myself and Destiny is that we both hate having to do work. If this show requires us to do an exhausting list of chores before we show up, it gets annoying and makes neither of us want to do it. Even something as simple as both of us having to watch a video before a stream can be annoying when other things are going on, i.e., I have to watch this Dr. Mike video before the podcast or Dan's going to kill me. I hate that. I don't want to do that type of shit unless it's fun. Making me and Steve blow 1K on some random stock and seeing who is more right after a month is fun. That's something we will want to do. Doing viewer call-ins / voicemails is fun. Being forced to read / watch / study something sucks. Destiny and myself have a good relationship. We've been friends for nearly a decade, and obviously we argue like an old married couple. It's rare that when we are on call together, there's dead silence and nothing to talk about. Even when that is the case, we make it funny. I think that moving forward, I will continue to keep the show strongly unstructured. We may introduce some segments like the stock meme, but in general, we will come into every show blind and riffing with a set of topics that August gives to us. We might go over every topic in depth, or we might spend the entire 3 hours arguing about homeopathic medicine. That's a flexibility I'm not willing to give up. Guests. I am undecided on how I want to handle this. The show with YMS went great and all 3 of us enjoyed it. Some people will undoubtedly be upset because we didn't go in depth on X, or you cut him off, or I can't believe you asked him about Band of Brothers 18 times. The show is not Bridges or a Lex Friedman interview. Those things above will not only keep happening, but I want to do them even more now. If we get 50 Cent on the show, I would spend the entirety of it asking him about his life before fame, being in a gang, and doing wild shit. We might spend a full 30 minutes talking about how it feels to get shot and asking him his preference in bulletproof vests. That's not changing. It's also undetermined how often we will bring on guests in the future and who they may be. Sure, it's fun to bring on a celebrity or some Twitch person we all know. It's also fun to have a show where both me and Steve bring our kids who are the same age. We might also just not do guests very often. Also, I don't want to bring on people just for the sake of bringing them on. Some of it might be a casualty of circumstance. For instance, YMS is already in town for Bridges, so it was easy to get him on for AE. From nothing, something. I want to restate this one more time, as this is now structured. This is better content with an additional hour of bonus content. The show is not cucking a Shapiro debate or a Fresh and Fit appearance. If the show disappeared tomorrow, there would not be another show taking its spot. It would be 2 hours of Israel-Palestine Wikipedia research, maybe some GeoGuessr. You do not have to watch the show if you hate the format, me or the guests or Destiny, but that would be weird. You can do literally anything else. Dank memes, shit criticism, anti-fan behavior. I take feedback seriously and act on it. However, the following is not feedback. You are a moron. Destiny's so fucking boring when he's on a podcast. I can't believe how bad the audio is. I expect you to pay for this. This guest sucks. Anything else would be better. Dan is cringe as usual. You may not be a moron. I think the sun glare got a bit worse since these are examples of good criticism. Summary, we are 4 episodes in. I think it's doing fantastic. I'm having a blast with Destiny. We have 500 plus Patreon subs so far. The format, flavor, smell, and direction of the show are being decided as we go. Nothing is set in stone, except that we alone will decide the direction of the show, and it will be for our enjoyment first and foremost. As it stands, I look forward to every Wednesday right now. I'm having an absolute blast, and I think that with the exception of a small minority, it's been super well received. Please don't take anything I said here as no criticism allowed. Just realize that we don't know what we are doing yet, and that's part of the fun. PhDs in podcastology who want to write a 13-page post on why we are fucking up should instead just drink bleach. This isn't trying to be whatever you're selling. Wow.
What did you think about that?
Well, that sure is a Reddit post.
It is a Reddit post. Did you see Dan on my stream?
Nope.
Some of his criticisms of some of the criticisms? You didn't see any of it?
Nope.
I think people just basically trying to tell him how to run stuff, how to do things differently, and a lot of weird, money grubbing jokes. I think he was concerned that people in the community don't remember him or don't know him from before, and so they think he's me, that he's just here for a payday.
Okay.
You share any of those concerns? You think about that at all? How your friends, how they're interpreted and seen in your community?
Yeah, I mean, I would consider that. I don't think that's the thing that's at play here, though. In terms of not remembering Dan from the past or whatever, I don't think that's necessarily a thing at play.
You disagree on that? You don't think that contributes to them significantly, being angry at him? Being angry at the podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so what do you think do you think the anger was justified then?
I mean, people are always justified in their feelings. The problem is people never have a sense of, people never have a measured take. So if somebody's irritated about something, it's literally the worst fucking thing in the world, and they're gonna type their mom just got in front of their eyes, and they have to give the most exaggerated emotional response ever to it, instead of being oh hey, this maybe could change, or we'll see what happens going forward, or whatever like that. I think that's kind of a crazy thing. Yeah, but I can understand why people don't like some things. I mean, I think, but what's that? Do you have a more particular question?
I think probably one suggestion, one thing I would say is probably if you guys are going forward with, changes or how you're monetizing things, coming out with new content, it'd be good to get on the same page before you actually start doing the things. So you paywall stuff and then you go on stream and you say, I have no idea why we're paywalling any of this. It probably hangs Dan or August, or it could Erudite potentially out to dry.
Maybe
specifically with your fan base. I would say when the stuff gets paywalled and then you go, yeah, I got no idea why it's paywalled like that. I feel like that does lead to the exact response that happened.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if that's my problem though.
It wasn't your problem. I don't think anybody was mad at you.
Well, it is my problem because it's things that I'm associated with, people are being really mad about. But technically, if I've handed something over to other people to work on, and then there's a hugely negative response to something, and people are asking me about it, and I'm well, I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know if that's a bullet that I'm willing to bite. I did sign off on this, and I do appreciate the paywall, and fuck all of you. I don't know if I want to eat the bullet on that. It wasn't necessarily my decision. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I have complete control over everything. I can say oh, well, let's change that or that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important to understand that it wasn't necessarily my call on some of these things. But I mean, again, I can change it, but
okay, yeah, I wonder how do you balance that? I guess because probably a huge part of you streaming is you're just very honest with your audience all the time, and then in this case, yeah, I don't know how you would fix that necessarily, or if you need to fix that. that like you disagree, but you let the other podcast function as a democracy. You know, you get outvoted, and you go on your show and you say like, I disagree with that. I don't know, like that. It feels like it hangs them out to dry, but maybe they just need to get better, or you just need to ignore responses or police it
I mean,
better.
like it does. You keep saying hangs them out to dry, but it's like it's also their decisions. Like it's not like I'm like shirking or like pushing this off to somebody else. I mean, I think the biggest issue is I don't know if there's no fix for this. I don't know if this is I don't think this is a my community thing. It's just an internet thing. Is that like people just can't give like measured takes on anything. I think that if people would just fucking give like a measured take, I don't think it would be as big of a deal. But it's annoying that like anytime somebody has something that they don't like, it's instantly like the most dramatic, most fucking insane, most fucking unhinged critique or feedback ever. And it's not like, bro, just like calm the fuck down. I think that's a very annoying aspect of most of the community feedback, that people seem incapable of just saying like, hey, like this thing could change or this would be better here, versus it's like a sea of like, I can't believe this like disgusting, horrible fucking shit. Like what the fuck were they even thinking about? And it's like, holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a little unhinged.
So let's say it was only you. Let's say you had nobody else on stream with you. You owned 100% of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How would you run your monetization? Like, what's your ideal strategy there?
I don't know. We're going over it. When it comes to monetizing content, I think there are three big things that you have to take into account. One is you can't make stuff that was previously available free behind a paywall. Generally, people are going to be not receptive well to that. That's the first thing. The second thing is whatever goes behind a paywall, I think needs to be of incredibly high quality, because there's a lot of free stuff that's really good available on the internet. And then I think the third thing is that there has to be like a good value add for why you're paying for something. So like access to talent, or I don't know, some type of thing that you're getting for paying for a particular thing. And I feel like right now, for where my shows are at, I don't know if any of those three conditions are being met right now. So that's why I'm generally in favor of just like doing stuff. And then once there's like a really solid formula that's been iterated on, then you kind of like branch out a bit and then you paywall it. I feel like that's a better direction, in my opinion.
Sure. So I heard argument 2 yesterday quite a few times, or maybe the day before. I forget when Dan was on, but I heard the argument 2 there, that there's better stuff all over the internet. So if you have to paywall, it has to be great. I think maybe this mixes in 3. I don't know what you meant by access to talent, but I do think
like a subscriber Discord where you talk to people, or viewer call-ins, like stuff like that. Yeah.
That's typically what people are paying for, is more access to you. Like their relationship with you is what they're paying for. Does that make you uncomfortable that they're just maybe like they have some parasocial relationship with you and that's driving them wanting to purchase it? Does that make you uncomfortable? Or
no, that's why you purchase literally any
quality. Well, okay, because I'm saying that probably makes it better than most content on the internet for them, right? Is like they consume most of their content out of
but I want to make sure from my standards that there's like a good value add there. I like just being in a Discord with me, I don't think is enough. I think there needs to be something more there in my mind. And that's not even like the most important thing. Like I think like some retard in my chat just said, how do you defend your DGG subscriber fee in that context? You're not like paywalled behind anything if you're not a sub on me. And I'm pretty honest on my website that when you subscribe, I'm pretty sure it literally just says like you get like hugs. Like there's nothing. You don't get anything for subbing in my you don't really get anything for subbing except for like a username. Destiny will call you buddy, a firm handshake. Like I'm not promising you anything here. That's not, yeah. Yeah.
Sure. So I guess probably you have a really strong inclination of leaning away from paywalling anything. That seems pretty clear. I just wasn't sure if you were, the value add thing. That's something. So I started running a Patreon too, and it's basically only like, hey, I'm doing like specific calls after my stream. Like I'll just jump into Discord and like hang out with people for a little bit after the stream, and that feels weird to me. In that I think sometimes.
Wait, say that last thing again.
Parasociality. People will just jump in the Discord with me and maybe like a couple orbiters, and that's like what they pay for. So like there's a parasociality aspect there that feels a little weird.
Oh, wait, just as a real quick thing, I don't care at all about parasocial. That's not a bad word to me. That's a meaningless word. I super don't give a fuck. It doesn't mean anything. That's like power dynamics when I hear that. So yeah.
Sure. I wasn't sure if that was what you were concerned about, because to me, I think like the value add is basically entirely that. And so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
guessing
fine. I don't think that's necessarily a bad value add. I just don't think that that's there right now for this. And right now, there's stuff that's like being paywalled, like behind a paywall. like you can't watch like a full VOD or something, which is pretty unique for my stuff. I don't think before these two shows, I don't think I've ever had content like that before. So I feel like it needs to be of very, very high quality, or there needs to be like a huge value add there or something for people to pay for it.
Okay. And so that's really the big thing is you just want the content not to be paywalled. You're fine with paywalling anything else. Like you could make like new content or something totally different, but the core content you just are basically usually against paywalling that.
I mean, like generally, but not necessarily always. It just depends. But like extra bonus content being paywalled, I think is like totally fine. Like me and Dan go to the shooting range or something as part of this would be maybe an interesting thing to paywall. But then it's also weird because would that be like a part of my normal stream that I'm now paywalling, or is that part of that show that we're now paywalling? I don't know. I have to think about something like that. But I think in general, also my goal is always like just reach and eyes. Like I just want more eyes on something. I want more reach with something. And usually paywalling things is like a way to kill something in the crib. I think if you paywall it like really aggressively in the beginning.
Okay. Dan, what do you think?
I think this is a pretty good compromise. It's an extra hour that would never exist otherwise, and people know exactly what they're getting, and they're choosing to buy it. And it's like not even like your example of like, hey, listen, when you buy tier 2 or tier 3, I literally say it's nothing. Yeah, when people go and do this, we're literally saying, hey, it's just the same shit. It's another hour, and if they want to, that's fine. I think that's like you could still watch it free live. I think we might even do something like eventually after like 2 weeks or something like that, putting it onto YouTube or something. So it's really like only the more diehard fans that really want to see it and watch it now and support it are going to be the people that it affects. And like those people are probably already watching live anyways. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I think this is like the perfect compromise across the board where, none of your morals or internal guidelines are being crossed, because this is literally something that would not exist otherwise. And they know exactly what they're getting because we give away most of it for free. And there's multiple ways to watch it for free anyways. On top of that, even if you didn't agree with that part, it's hard to segment everything else off of that, being like, yeah, but I don't really like charging for stuff that's not really polished. Well, I mean, we charge for tier 1 and it's nothing. It does nothing. This gets you something that's better in every way, I would say, right?
All I heard there is you should unsub from Destiny.gg and sub to the Anything Else Patreon, because you actually get something out of your tier 1 sub then.
Well, I mean, you get distinguished, and probably pretty sure Kick is going to be going away shortly, so that's even more of a benefit. But when you say shit like that, jstlk, it makes me want to fucking stream over your time so I can hurt you financially as well, homie.
Can you stay up as late as I stay up?
No, I can't.
I feel like you have a life. I'm protected by my lack of a life, okay?
Anyways, I think this is the best compromise. I mean, look, in an ideal world, yeah, it would be great to make everything free. And lollipops and rainbows and all that other shit. But as I said, I want to be able to do interesting shit in the future. I want to not lose money doing this. And if interesting shit is like, as I said, like, flying in a guest or something, I want to make sure there's money to do it. Like, I think that's realistic and fair, and only the most diehard, like, let's be honest, me in general is fan service already. Like, nobody outside of DGG knows who I am anyways. So, yeah.
Wow. Any other questions,
Yeah.
Justical?
Well, no, you're supposed to be arguing with things
wanna-
I've said there, because like I said different things, I guess. But
Oh.
I mean,
I feel like on my brain, I just feel like everything, for me, just publishing everything for free and making it all accessible. So anybody can click a playlist and watch everything is just like the easiest way to go about it.
we do have different, motivations of that, right? Like you get 100% profit of maximum views, and that affects you specifically. Not that you do it for that reason. I'll just say there is different alignment on that front, right?
Sure, but it's not even a month. I mean, I would just split the ad
Like,
revenue.
you get
then.
your-
I would still rather just split the ad revenue than paywall anything. Like that would be an easy solution for that. I just feel like paywalling early new stuff is just like it just feels like a huge gamble to me, I guess.
Well, actually, I think it's the other way around. One of the things you told me before is like, hey, it feels really shitty to paywall stuff that used to be for free. And now you're like, oh, let's make it free and then we can paywall it later. It's like the opposite of what you said.
Well,
Like,
the
at
thing
least
that you
here
would
we're
paywall
being-
later would be some other extra content around it, not just making.
I mean, this is extra content. This
Well-
hour would not exist otherwise. Is literally the definition of extra content.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Are there?
There's no possibly. It is an extra hour that would not exist otherwise.
Okay. Are there any podcasts that lock like the entire show or any part of the show behind a paywall? Like, does that exist?
Why do I care what other people do? We can make a new format and a new.
Well, because we live in an
system.
industry where we have like competitors and other people that are like roughly occupying a similar space doing
So
similar things.
here's the thing I think that a lot of them do, from when I looked before, is that they do a bonus show once a month for patrons. Okay? And that's not going to work for us. I already know it. One, because we both like streaming to a live audience. It kind of, and you can't really do that if it's live. Someone's just going to fucking repost it. Like no one would pay for that if it was live. So that's what most people do. They do a bonus episode, and that means we have to do another episode once a month, which I don't even know where we would do that. So
Yeah,
It
that might
sounds
be
like
good.
the easiest thing to do would be just to get Destiny to commit. If he's going to commit a bunch of other time to do like extra content, then maybe you could go back to unpaywalling all the stuff, but then he'd have to commit to doing it, right?
yeah, but I don't even know if I want to do it. Then it becomes a chore. Like here, this is easy. It's Wednesdays. We show up and we shit post for 3 hours, and it's simple. And people who want to support it can do it, and those who don't can still watch it for free. There's very, very little downside for viewers here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't mind working a little bit more too if it's because I mean it is if we're doing like separate pay revenue generation. I mean, yeah, if you want to like it's like working for a little bit more money for like a separate Patreon, I think it makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like have it feel like a job personally.
Well, I mean, I kind of is right.
Not really. I don't feel like
just-
it's a job at all. I love it.
Dan, you can't keep saying that, okay? You can't keep poo-pooing work and then expect people
No,
to
I-
not be upset when you're asking to paywall the content. You
No,
just-
I can
just
because
for
I've
your
given
own
very
sake.
clear. JSTLK, I don't need the advice on this. I absolutely can because there's costs that go into the show. There's a studio cost. There's the cost of if we start doing guests and flying that type of shit in. It is not all fucking candy and rainbows. And also, if I am producing good content, and so is Steve, and people like it enough that it does grow into a champagne socialist type of podcast like Hassan has, where it's doing 100K a month, then yeah, that's great. And Kane, you're wrong. It is part of my cost. So you shouldn't be. I'm just addressing Kane there. I'm responsible for those costs as well. So yeah, that's it. Also, I don't have to explain myself. I have my own great time doing it. And if you don't like it, watch it for free. There you go. The ultimate own. Pay nothing on the neighbor's Wi-Fi. That's how you get it.
Okay, I got a question here as well, Dan. Could you really consider it bonus content? I understand you're saying the
Yes, you
extra hour
can.
would be
Yeah, you can. You can
Well,
because it wouldn't
You
exist
consider
otherwise.
it bonus content when it's like
Yep.
you fighting like an old married couple, right? You've done this.
Yeah,
for 10
and
years.
if people
It's like the easiest
know
thing in the world.
exactly what they're getting and they want to pay for it. Yes. It's not like, I wonder what's in this last hour. I wonder if it's going to be rapidly different or not rapidly, whatever. Is it going to be different than what's in the last 2 hours? No, it's going to be the same shit. They know what they're getting exactly, and they're choosing to pay, and it wouldn't exist otherwise.
They are choosing to pay. The people who see it are choosing to pay. I'm just saying the people who can't see it, who are like longtime Destiny fans, who are used to Destiny not paywalling any of his content.
Can you give me an example? I want to know who's not going to be able to do this, because as I said, we're probably going to release it for free on YouTube after like some period of time. So who is this affecting?
Well, the free we have to keep careful on that. The release for free after a period of time doesn't matter because nobody's going to want to watch a show like this like a week late. If we were doing like a podcast around like particular topics, like that required some level of analysis that weren't topical or like socially relevant, then maybe like a history podcast you could release a week later. But nobody's going to want to hear about like commentary about a particular topical thing a week after it's happened, or even like days after it's happened. I don't think they'll already hear it on my stream or through Twitter or some other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could get that for sure. That's definitely a thing. I mean, we're gonna try and make the. I know August is setting up the iTunes or the Apple Play, or not Apple Play. The was it the iTunes and Spotify integration stuff is going. But yeah, I like how it's laid out. I think it's working. I think that we're having really good growth on the Patreon. Would people prefer not to pay? Yeah, no shit. I'm not retarded. I understand that people would prefer not to pay. And I don't care, I guess. Really?
Okay, Daves.
Okay. I haven't heard like I understand all of those arguments. I just haven't heard why like necessarily this extra hour is like different.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
It's not different. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Oh no, wait, sorry. It is different. It happens from 9 to 10 p.m. where there normally wouldn't be a stream. Does that help you?
No, because it's the same content. You have
no,
the same
it wouldn't. No, the
you're
content at
continuing
9 to
on.
10. The content at 9 to 10 is nothing. That's a black screen.
Let me ask you this: if it's 9 o'clock precisely, and you're on a topic, you guys are heating up, are you going to paywall the last half of that topic?
I don't know how we're going to do the splits exactly at that point, like of when we split the VOD or something. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I would be concerned about that, right? That you guys are just going to like cut a topic or cuck a topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the alternative is that we would end the stream at that time. So really, it's all upside, isn't it?
Well, I've never seen Destiny end a stream when there's like a heated, fun topic going on.
Well, you are retarded, because that's happened thousands of times, where he's like telling people in a fucking debate, all right, I can't deal with this. I'm sorry, I got to go to the gym. So you're just lying.
When he's like 3 hours over,
what you've just said is indefendable. This is the end of a stream. You've just said something that is...
But
it doesn't matter. You can like try and do the misspeak shit. You're just lying to try and make your point and thinking I'm not going to call you out on it. What you've just said is definitively not true. Happens all the time. He's known for it, and you've just tried to say the opposite.
Wait, I feel like, hold on. He's known for going way late, like way over, doing really long streams, especially.
You don't think there's been a tremendous amount of times where he says, "I can't deal with this.
Stream.
I have to go to the gym. This is fucking." Like that happens so often. You're trying to gaslight me.
Not in the middle of content. Not in the middle of content.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that factor.
I'm just telling you that when there's real content going on, like real great content, and they're not just circling the drain, I've never seen this guy shut off his stream.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so the idea that you're going after here is that every day from 9 to 10 moving forward, every Wednesday, he would be streaming anyways.
What I'm saying is that if you guys are on a really like a heater topic, okay, and you guys hit 9 o'clock, I'm asking.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save the heated topics for right after 9. Don't worry. I'll have nice, easy segues at 9 p.m. All boring shit before then right at 9, we'll move into the real shit. That's when me and Lycan will start debating Israel versus Palestine, right at 9:02.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you can't say that because you're going to do the whole, like, the show's flexible, right? So you're not planning it out. You don't have it sectioned out. I don't think you know when the content's going to be coming, what topics are going to hit before you get into them.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I'll set myself a timer. I guess I can do that.
You're just not going to commit until it gets to the paid part of the podcast?
Well, you're making me want to do that right now, to be honest.
Well, listen, I'm helping you out, Dan, okay? I don't know if you're...
I actually
dislike you, but all the comments about not wanting to work, not wanting to put that much effort in, I'm trying to help you. I'm like, get Destiny to commit to more stuff.
Let me explain something.
Everybody love you.
jstlk, I don't need your help. You can go look at the thread. It's universally positive. You're the one who needs help here on this situation, okay? When you come in here, it's nothing but Pepe mods and fucking this guy again. And when I speak, it's angel thumbs. Please don't help me with whatever you're trying to do.
It's wild that chat is 50-50 right now, because everybody hates me.
Everyone hates spending money. I understand that.
wait, they hate spending money. I'm saying they hate me. And somehow they're all saying, oh, JSTLK is right. I've literally never seen that phrase typed in DGG chat before.
Yeah,
JSTLK
I
is
know.
right.
It's almost like if you get someone to pay someone, they'll not want to do it. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm trying to help you out. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help you out.
Okay, thanks.
Because I'm scared that you're pushing the community to dislike you. I'm just saying, listen. Just say that you're working hard. Just say that you're working hard. You're putting all of your effort into this, and you're happy to do it because you love it.
No, not working hard, having a fantastic time. Doesn't seem like work at all, and I enjoy every second of it, and I look forward to it every week. And if it starts to turn more into work, so I'm not going to like that either.
Sure. Like my primary contention here, my primary problem is that clearly Destiny doesn't agree with this.
Well,
Agreed.
why am
He
I getting
wants to
dragged
do-
into
He
this?
wants to have
Yeah,
everything.
why are you
He wants to
dragging
have
it?
everything.
Do you
Why am I
think,
getting
do you
dragged
think
into
that
this?
we already agreed that we are doing this?
Dan said everything's universally positive, and I'm saying that it's universally positive in that thread. One, after everybody got banned for disagreeing before, and two, with Destiny not necessarily being in agreement with what's going on in that.
How many bans do you
that,
think have
thread.
happened? There's been like 10 people, and all of them pretty much universally said shit about being a greedy.
Well, I got a really long Twitter message from that N King guy who didn't say anything about Jews and was like super, super apologetic.
Mm-hmm. I feel pretty clearly that what we're talking about here in this case is quite specifically bonus content that wouldn't exist otherwise. And I don't know why we're still coming back to like, what's the benefit of this? What's not the benefit of this? This is something that would be dead stream otherwise. Also, I don't know why I'm debating this with you. I've already worked this out with Destiny. This is already done. It's not up for debate. It's not like we're working out the terms of how this goes one way or the other here. This is done. This is the end of it.
Well, I think you're debating it with me because I'm concerned that Destiny's going to not be happy with this. And he's not
No.
willing to debate it because you guys are best friends.
Destiny is more than willing to tell me to go fuck myself, and he's done it plenty of times when we came up with this already.
Okay.
To be clear, I think what we're doing is I'm pretty sure we're going to run with this for like a month or so, and we'll see how we feel after a revisit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want everybody to love Dan.
It
That's
does
all I
not
want.
seem that
I want
way.
everybody to love Dan. I'm literally. Why do you think I'm here fighting you? If you're against me, everybody's gonna love you. I'm pulling people to your side by just taking the opposite position.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so, but that's fine. At the end of the day, Destiny is the main draw. He can pretty much dictate whatever he wants to do. That's fine. I'm certainly not going to lose money doing this if I'm paying for a portion of the studio and we're flying in guests. I don't think it's going to get to that point. I'm not really too worried about that. I think we've already kind of surpassed the point of where that's an issue, and I still enjoy it right now. Hopefully that stays continuing to be the case. And yeah, as long as that stays the case, I mean, I'm gonna be happy doing it. I like going on stream and doing it, and I like it not being work, and those are important things to me. I did
one more question for you. Just, do you care if the community likes you?
Yeah, of course.
Can you? So in my mind right now, you're basically gambling with the community liking you, okay? Over like a couple $1,000, which to me, as far as I understand it, is like pocket change to you.
Okay, first of all, I've said this to you. Well, I don't know if I said it to you. I'm not going to lose money to do a show every month. I have a contract in front of me to pay for a portion of the studio. If we're bringing on guests, they're going to want to be paid for. I'm not going to lose money to create content for people. Does that click for you?
That clicks for me, but I'm saying
you say that clicks for me, but
to be your principal, then you're more concerned about losing money than losing goodwill in the community, which is crazy to me because I feel like you have so much money.
How do you? Wow, I feel like the JSTLK thing is actually coming to be unironic at this point.
Dan, you owned like a massive data center in New York. It has nothing to do with your ethnicity. It has to do with the fact that you are actually like a wealthy person.
Yes, and you don't stay wealthy fucking spending money to entertain people. I don't understand. What are you saying? Are you suggesting that I go out of pocket on this?
I'm saying that probably the longest duration that you could possibly be out of pocket for this is like a month, and you could just be willing to burn that money. Startups burn the money all the time, right?
Mhm.
Startups burn money all the time. You could be willing to burn money for a little bit, okay? Like how much? What are your costs like? Like how much do you pay for the studio each month?
I mean, really, it's none of your business on any of this. It's not going to be a Carantos type thing where you get to like get up in the shit and do it. It's not up for fucking debate. He may have wanted to run the shit like that. I sure as shit fucking don't. And yeah,
Okay, I just listen. I want everybody to love Dan. I feel like if Dan was willing to say, okay, you know what, we're thinking about it. We'll take it under
Mhm.
advisement and think about unpaywalling the podcast. I feel like Dan would
So a
win the
few
community
things.
over, and you
One,
would make more money in the next 3 months than you'll make with this strategy. I feel like the only thing you could possibly lose here, it's like you're basically prioritizing. I don't know. I think probably upper bound $5,000 a month. That's what the apartment costs, right? Over $5,000 a month. You want to take like the bad will from this?
I want to have fun and not lose money doing it. And yeah, that's what I think will be enjoyable to me. And yeah, I don't think that's like so wrong to do. And I think we're creating stuff that wouldn't exist otherwise. And yeah, I feel fine with it. I'm not sure
Okay.
I buy the all I want to do is increase your goodwill type of thing. I see that it feels like you're trying to use this as a pushing off point to change the optics of yourself. And um yeah, I don't know. It's like a little
I don't.
slimy.
I don't listen. I shit on chat enough that it's not going to matter for me at all. And I think you're gonna,
No,
no
I
matter
think
what
you're
happens here, you're gonna be here for
exactly
a long time.
that's exactly what you're trying to do right now. And I don't know why you're trying to gaslight me. It's like the most retarded thing I've heard in my life.
I'm
I'm
not trying to
here
gaslight you at
because
all.
you're here because you want chat to love me more. I just want to hear it. Say it one more time so I can
I'm
hear
here
it.
because I'm here because I'm concerned that you are probably taking your most powerful thing, the goodwill of the community, and
Um,
risking it for a very low amount of money
I'm
for what
pretty
your
sure
costs could possibly be.
I'm not risking very much. I think that it's going to be fine, honestly. Maybe for you, if you charge money, all of a sudden nobody watches you. That might be the case. I don't know. I I can't speak to that. I haven't seen
That's
much of your
almost certainly
stuff.
the case. I don't think anybody's paying $5 a month to see me and Kelly yell at each other.
Okay. Well, people seem to like paying for what we have. I think it's fine.
Yeah,
And if
absolutely.
they
Like,
and if
hold
they
on.
don't want
Do
to
you
pay
think I'm
for it, they
arguing that
actually
I'm
don't
more
have to.
entertaining than you? Do you think that's something I'm arguing here? That's
No,
like
I think
completely
you're in
unrelated to
here.
anything that's going
I
on.
I think that you're in here right now under false pretenses, trying to stir shit, and that's fine. As a veteran shit stirrer, goes with the territory. That's fine. But I'm not changing anything of what I said. I don't want
Well,
it to
I'm
be work. I don't feel like it is work right now, and I like that. And I want you to pay
okay.
for it. And yeah,
I'm
those are all
gonna
things
ask you
those
just
are
a
all things that are
hypothetical
true.
here.
Yeah, I want to get
If you
paid,
could pay
have
three
fun.
thousand dollars a month, if you could pay
Hmm.
$3,000 a month to have uniform love across all of the Destiny universe, would you do that?
If I had to buy my love, I don't think it's real love.
If you could, that's not answering the question though.
I just no, it is. Like if you have to buy your love, no, I wouldn't do it. Why would I spend $5,000 to have more people like me? That seems retarded.
3,000. Wait, you don't think it's valuable to have people like you?
Do I have like a social channel
That's
that I'm trying to promote?
yes. It's the anything else
And
podcast.
okay, I don't have like a Twitch stream where I go and I'm soliciting personal donations. My content exists solely as a Andy Richter to his Conan. That's it, and I'm happy with that. And I'm not trying to do a step off piece and start my own shit or do something else. So
Okay. Um, I I get what you're saying. I feel like you're not really engaging with what I'm asking.
because I think you're bad faith, and I don't believe what you're saying, and I think once again that you're doing this. I don't
Wait,
know why, trying to somehow improve your public image.
I'm
It's like
not.
wild to me.
I'm literally just because it hadn't clicked for me that like this could be such a clear problem, like such a clear money versus like goodwill of the community.
Just
Like
to
it
be
could be
clear, this
useful.
is the guy who charges money for people to be able to ask a question or something on your stream, or like kick people on, kick people off. Like this is
Yeah,
you don't get it.
wait, I've basically never done. The only time I've come close to doing the pay to kick people off thing was with Kelly one time when I said I was going to do a segment solo if I got donations.
Okay,
Otherwise, I've
I don't
never
know.
done that.
Yeah, I think I'm not. I'm happy with exactly everything that I've said of how it is. and you'll piss off some people when you charge for money. But the amount of people that this affects is so minor, and they're all going to be people that probably want to see the content pretty aggressively. So it's like fan service, honestly, that wouldn't exist otherwise. So
Okay. Well, all right. I get concerned. Okay, I get concerned.
I don't think it. No, I don't think you get
No.
concerned. I think that you're saying you get concerned, but really you're like, how can I somehow twist this to be my benefit? And it's really fucking scummy.
You're tugging at my heartstrings. I don't want to actually make you feel bad. I'm just asking you some standard questions. And
no,
my
you're
concern
not.
with
You're
all of this-
you're asking leading questions, saying shit that's not true.
Wait, what wasn't true?
So to start that, like, Destiny never ever would like end his stream in the middle of something. Like, that was the first one that comes off the top of the head.
Okay, most of the time, the entire time I've watched him when something's popping, right?
Uh-huh.
He's gonna keep streaming. Mizkif stuff.
Okay.
All of the Mr. Girl Lab stuff that was going on, like stuff's popping off. There's major content. He will not kill his stream because he's an entertainer, right? He entertains people.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, but what else? So is that the only thing I've been dishonest about?
I don't know if I want to have like a fucking debate with you about how I'm going to do a podcast with Steve. That's really not your say. Like, if Steve and me decide that we're not going to do a paywall and it's going to be wide open or something, then that will be the case and that will happen. And it will be completely not based on how much you want the community to like me, for instance. I'm fine with the community not liking me or not talking to me. I was gone for a year. That's okay. Yeah, but if we want to do cool shit, it costs money. And yeah, I don't want to go out of pocket for it. And that's fine. And I think those are reasonable takes.
I don't think it's crazy to not want to go out of pocket. I just think that probably you have such a huge user base, especially when Destiny's doing exclusive content like for your podcast, that like the prospect of you going out of pocket can't even possibly.
To be clear, it's not my
more than
podcast. This isn't a podcast that's being hosted on like youtube.com/Dan. This is Destiny's podcast.
Okay. Can I ask you really quickly? Were you guys on the same page when you made the post?
What's that?
I said, were you guys on the same page when you made the post? Sorry, when you made the post. Were you guys like, had you agreed that, yeah, we're definitely not paywalling?
I mean, we talked about it before it went up. I mean, I feel differently about it, but I said, fuck it, we can run this for like a month or so, and we'll see how it turns out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, to be clear, to throw Steven under the bus, I do think it was fucked if you... I didn't even know that you said that, where you're like, oh, I had no idea that we're paywalling shit. Because, motherfucker, I was like, hey, Steve, go fucking delist VODs now, and you did it. So
Wait, hold up.
No, you...
Hold up.
Now
I don't
we're going both ways.
believe I said I had no idea we're paywalling shit. I believe what I said is I don't know why we're paywalling stuff. There's a big difference between the two.
Okay, then that's more, I guess, defensible. But I mean, you did know why we're paywalling stuff, right? It's to get Patreon subs.
No, that's no.
Okay.
Hold on. When you say like, why are you paywalling something? The answer is not to make money. Obviously, the answer is like, the question is, what are you paywalling it for? What are they accessing if they pay for the paywall? That's the question.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. I feel, like I said, I think it's good content, and I have fun doing it. This whole thing makes it feel way much less like fun. I'll say that much. This like
yeah, but also, I mean, I think also true. But like, if people are watching it and they're like in the middle of a VOD and then it just gets cut off and like, oh fuck, it's paywalled. I can't watch the end of this conversation. Like, there's probably people that feel that way too, right?
Well, I mean, we don't have to delete VODs for an hour. That's fine. Doesn't have to happen instantly. What other edge case objections should we handle?
Well, it wouldn't be. It's just anybody that's not watching live and doesn't want to pay is kind of cucked. So VOD frogs that wake up, especially in Europe, you wake up and you can't watch the VOD from last night because it's paywalled. Or
well, I mean, I guess what we're saying though is that this wouldn't happen. There wouldn't be a third hour, right? Otherwise.
Well, sure. There's a different formula going forward, but I was saying for the prior stuff.
Yeah. So moving forward, there shouldn't be like an issue with that because this is something that wouldn't exist otherwise, right?
I mean, but that also, I feel like that's just like it's still the same format, it's still the same podcast, is in the same place, happening at the same time. It's like Destiny goes over his end time all the time, right? That's my issue. Is he goes over his end time all
You
the
keep
time.
okay, just to
It's
go.
like
I don't know how long
they're
you've watched me
putting
for.
on.
I think that used to be super true, but over the past like year, I've been a lot more strict on the 9 o'clock thing. To be fair, before when because the examples you brought up like Lab and Mr. Girl and everything, that was true. I was going over a lot then, but I think over the past like year to year and a half, I've been pretty strict on like trying to kill it at 9, except for some
To be
exceptions.
fair, for the past 6 months, you've been cutting Wikipedia at the perfect time. Okay, I'm saying when there's content popping off, anybody want to give me an example of content absolutely popping off and Destiny killing the stream?
I guess usually I go late when I'm doing like the Alex podcast shows or whatever, or I'm trying to think of what else gets scheduled late.
Dan, you said I lied about it. You want to give me an example of Destiny cutting the stream when content's popping off?
I don't have an example of for the negative or the positive right now. Only that I know that it's been the case in the past. Not having an example is not like it's not like saying anything just because I don't remember every piece of drama where he's like, "That's it, I can't deal with this shit, and I'm fucking leaving." It means nothing. I mean, I guess someone in chat can probably come up with an example. I'll leave it to them as always.
Yeah. So for me, I'm on your page in terms of my content. I can paywall stuff, and that's like my community. It's off on its own area. For me, I just feel like you're potentially cutting off so many people by not. You could be 100% right. Let's say, for example, you are 100% right, and this is the most optimal model. This is the best you could possibly do. I think just the loss of goodwill versus the amount of money you'd lose if you didn't do it in the very short term is like nothing. Like that is such an easy trade to make every single day of the week.
I'm happy that you're willing to make that choice for me of, which contracts I should sign for what and how much money I should lose for it. But I think I'll make that decision myself. Like, it's such a fucking wild thing of all the people to be arguing about this.
I think I'm saying you are correct. Like, but let's say you're just cutting off like all of Europe from that last hour for like $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Do you think that could possibly be not worth it, or are you
I mean, I'm under the thing that you should, if people enjoy the fan service that much, that they shouldn't have a problem paying. I don't think there's a problem with paying to support content that you enjoy personally.
There is no problem with it. I'm just saying
content that probably wouldn't exist otherwise.
This community, they're not trained for it, right?
I don't understand. Like, this is, I've told you, this is shit that wouldn't happen otherwise. And you're saying, like, I don't know, man. This is like the wildest shit ever. This fucking argument of going out of pocket to do the show. Actually, I don't even have to do it. I'm just not going to do that. So it's not an issue for me. I enjoy what's happening. I don't want that to change. I don't want it to turn into a fucking job. When we did startups, that was fine. There was a lot of memes that happened as a result of startups and everything like that. It was very structured and it was a huge amount of fucking work. And it sucked at the end of the day. It was too much work, too much effort. And that whole thing was unpaywalled. I think we just did all that for free completely. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was some stuff there, but...
just another question that I would have is, when you started Tiny Chat, when you started Redact, did you spend any months in the red?
What does that have to do with this in the slightest?
That if you're starting a new venture, you might eat a few months of losses to get it up and running?
This is not a venture. This is literally a fucking, like, me and him having a good time, hanging out, talking about whatever bullshit is going on, and flying in funny people to be on the show. That's what this is. Do you think this is going to turn into Hassan's $90,000 a month thing?
I think it absolutely could. I think you guys have
okay. Well, I think
you
you're delusional.
Really well. Okay.
You're delusional. Yeah. I don't know. People in chat saying this is going to turn into 90K. You guys are fucking a little bit delusional, but I mean, we'll see. That'll be good.
I also feel like that's your hope, is to turn it into that. And so I feel like if you're hoping to turn it into that,
I'd hope to turn it into $1 billion a month. Just the amount of ass mad that I would get would be great.
I think so. When I first started hearing about this, Dan, I thought this was people against Dan, and I thought because that's what you saw it as, right? But as I read more of the posts, I really think it's a lot more people fighting the concept than fighting Dan. I think the people love Dan. And
I'm
my
not really too
concern here
concerned.
is
Last night,
actually, I'm
the
just saying my
previous
concern is that you might be burning some
you've
of
made
that, and you don't
yeah,
have
I
to.
know you've made this very honest and true concern to me several times now. The previous thread that was up was with the previous format. The new format that we have, as I said before, I think is above reproach. I think that is uncriticizable what we're talking about doing, and as such, I feel fine with it. As I said, this is stuff that wouldn't exist. The third hour, if you're watching the VOD, I mean, we're talking about very edge cases here of people that are going to get affected by this. So,
I think
yeah.
like it's basically all of Europe, right?
So you think that people in Europe who are going to start watching the show at 1 a.m., that they're going to be upset that it doesn't end at 2 instead of 3? Or sorry, 3 instead of 4?
I'm just saying that a bunch of
Yeah,
people
that's
probably are gonna
retarded.
miss
That's
this and they're
retarded.
just
They're
on
already
Vods.
missing the whole thing anyways.
I mean, yeah, they were gonna miss. Yeah.
Okay,
that's
well,
what I'm saying.
I mean, what do
Like,
we
the
or we
VOD
just get always switch continents here based on the fucking timing? I don't understand.
Well, no, it's the people who would it would be in the middle of the morning or whatever for them.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you might not be able to watch it. That's why there's a $5 option like this if you want to go and see it and do it that way. Yeah.
Okay, but to me, I just don't think that's worth it. But yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
It's realistically, it's probably not going to matter because if your only barrier here is that you have to not pay out of pocket for any amount of time, you're going to hit that within like 6 weeks anyway.
Yeah, but hey, maybe we'll get to the Hassan level. That'd be great, right?
No, I'm saying in 6 weeks you just remove the paywall because you won't be burning money anymore.
Oh no, I'm
You
gonna
guys will have
double the
enough funds.
paywall. Once it starts going well, we're gonna crank it up to double.
Okay, I feel like you're all right. I don't know where else we can go from here. I feel like you're
I
fighting
want
a
this thing
concept here,
to. I
and
mean, listen. I'll be
people
honest with you. I wanted
love
this
you.
thing to be huge, and I think it will be huge. So, but that's just me. Smelling my own farts because I have a good time and I enjoy it. So,
Okay.
anything else?
Like I said, man, I just
Mm-hmm.
trust me. All of the positive feedback on that thread after banning everybody who had neutral feedback from before,
Mm-hmm.
which by the way I support. No bad targets on that subreddit. They're all terrible people. But I'm just
Gotcha.
saying, if you think that's the broad basis of response from the community, I think you might be deluding yourself a little bit. And I think
Okay.
probably if you're doing this potentially risking the goodwill for like anything under $5,000 in terms of costs, I think that's
Uh-huh.
insane.
Okay. Well, opinion noted.
Do you wait? Do you disagree with that? That for
I
under
am not going to answer
$5,000
the
burning
same
this goodwill
question.
would be bad?
I've already answered this question like fucking 10 times from you.
You
You
haven't
keep
engaged
asking
with
the same question.
You just keep saying I wouldn't pay for love. I'm just asking if you were burning this much goodwill for like $5,000, that would be crazy, right?
Sorry, if I'm burning goodwill for $5,000, I don't think I'm burning
To
goodwill.
save yourself $5,000. If
No, I
you
don't
were,
think I'm burning goodwill.
okay, let's just say if you were, hypothetically.
I don't know. I don't know how to put a fucking dollar amount on it because I'm not a streamer and I don't have like a YouTube channel where I'm trying to get people to subscribe to. So it's hard for me to say
What
how
I
much
mean when
give a
I say
shit.
you're not actually engaging with the question.
Because it doesn't make sense on that front. The goodwill of a community is like earned by who you are and what you do, not like by.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
agree
trying
there.
to be. I'm not trying to be obtuse by it.
Okay. All right. I can't ask the question another time, so if you're not going to answer it, then I'm probably just going to have to go.
The question of how much is it worth my goodwill, I fundamentally disagree that the fact that we charge for a portion of this podcast means that all of a sudden I'm going to turn into you. I don't agree. So, but I mean, we'll see. That's fine. Hey, I've been on both sides of it before, so.
Not with a community this size, but I'm just telling you that probably there's a dollar value there, and if it's under
Okay.
like 2,500, $5,000, it's so
Okay.
not worth it. But
Okay. Well,
you disagree. You think saving like $2,500 to implement this that's worth it. That's a
I
good
mean,
trade.
if you want to pay all the extra costs, we can do that too. I'll still do the paywall, but I mean, you can help pay for stuff.
Okay. Well, hold on. Well, now you just changed your argument. Are you doing the
I know
paywall
I'm
to
trying to make
recoup
fun of you
costs?
right now.
Are you doing the paywall to recoup costs, or that's what it's for, right?
See, now what you're trying to do is you're trying to trap me and make me look greedy. I'm doing the podcast so I can have it be bigger than Hassan's. I'm going to make 200K a month, and it's going to be amazing. And yeah, that's the goal. There we go.
I'm just asking you to remain consistent. That's all.
You're just. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was being inconsistent in this conversation where I said that I didn't want to work and charge the maximum amount of money I can to get that. That's all right. I'll be more clear with my goals moving forward.
Okay.
Can you just say
like
one more
I said,
time before you go that you just want DGG to like me, please?
they're gonna like you no matter what, Dan.
I know, but can you just say the main reason you're here?
The main reason I'm here, I just want to save Dan's reputation. Okay, I want
You
to
just want
help
them to
Dan
like me.
identify what the real problem is here, what the real trade off he's making is, because I
Okay.
don't think it's a smart one.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're the expert, so I'm going to take that under advisement.
Okay.
Anything else?
I just want to make it. I just want to make
I
it clear.
don't need
it.
it. I'm crystal clear.
$2,500. That's
I
my
am
point.
crystal
I
clear.
don't think it's an
I am
argument worth
so
having
clear.
for $2,500. That's
I am
that's my only
so
point.
clear. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am crystal clear on all of it
All right.
right now. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. I love you guys. I know it'll be successful no matter what. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Wow. Dramatic.
Much more so than it needed to be, but that's okay. I've been on the other side of these conversations with the where me and someone else going at it and you're there silently enjoying the free content. That's fine. That's the perks of the job. I get it.
All right. Well, is there anything else we need to go over?
You don't get to do the anything else to me.